Human guinea pigs. For many Americans, these words suggest disturbing images of men, women, and children exploited in the name of medical science. The disclosures in recent years of federally sponsored research involving American citizens, the Tuskegee syphilis study, a 40-year study of untreated syphilis in African American men, the nerve and mustard gas tests conducted during World War II on American soldiers, and in 1993, reports of radiation experiments on dying patients, pregnant women, and mentally retarded children during the Cold War have intensified many of the negative associations with human experimentation. At the same time, these disclosures have raised questions about the development of ethical standards for human experimentation. What, if any, were the rules for research involving human beings in the 1940s and 1950s? What ethical standards should we use to evaluate these earlier experiments? Perhaps most important for policymakers, is it fair to apply the ethical standards of the 1980s and 1990s to researchers working in the 1930s and 1940s, when, presumably, different ethical norms were in place? Part of the problem in answering these questions has been a reluctance to look seriously at the conduct of human experimentation before World War II. With few exceptions, historians and bioethicists have assumed that research involving human subjects, especially non-therapeutic experiments, occurred only rarely before the war, and that the moral problems posed by human experimentation concerned few physicians or the lay public. The modern history of human experimentation, according to these scholars, begins with the Nuremberg Code, developed in 1946 as part of the prosecution of Nazi physicians for war crimes and crimes against humanity. Because the Nuremberg Code and its emphasis on the voluntary consent of the individual subject represents a milestone in the history of human experimentation, understanding the development of ethical standards in the years before World War II is not only important, but essential.